Krishna, in between rounds, read a little something from Bhagavad-gītā as it is. So we're starting on the first verse and purport. This is by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. By approaching Bhagavad-gītā through Srila Prabhupada, we're getting the full benefit of the entire disciplic succession, because Bhagavad-gītā was originally spoken by Krishna. So the disciplic succession preserves, doesn't change anything, doesn't add anything. There's no other motivation except to hear from Krishna. It is the perfect, this Prabhupada's purport, it's the perfect theistic science because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. The topics discussed by Dhṛtarāṣṭra and Sanjaya are described in the Mahabharata and form the basic principle for this great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the battlefield of Kurukṣetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from immemorial time of the Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. The word Dharmakshetra, a place where religious rituals are performed, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukṣetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the side of Arjuna. Dhṛtarāṣṭra, the father of the Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sanjaya, "What did my sons and the sons of Pāṇḍu do?" He was confident that both his sons and the sons of his younger brother Pāṇḍu were assembled in that field of Kurukṣetra for a determined engagement of war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want to compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his sons on the battlefield. Because the battle was arranged to be fought at Kurukṣetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heaven, Dhṛtarāṣṭra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjuna and the sons of Pāṇḍu favorably, because by nature they were all virtuous. Sanjaya was a student of Vyasa, and therefore by the mercy of Vyasa, Sanjaya was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukṣetra even while he was in the room of Dhṛtarāṣṭra. So he had remote vision. He had remote viewing. And so Dhṛtarāṣṭra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. Dhṛtarāṣṭra was born blind, and he was also blind in a moralistic sense, also spiritual sense. He was blind. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhṛtarāṣṭra belonged to the same family, but Dhṛtarāṣṭra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his sons as Kurus, and he separated the sons of Pāṇḍu from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhṛtarāṣṭra in relation to his nephews, the sons of Pāṇḍu, his brother's sons. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out, So it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukṣetra, where the father of religion, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, was present, the unwanted plants, like Dhṛtarāṣṭra's son Duryodhana and others, would be wiped out, and the thoroughly religious persons headed by Yudhisthira would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of the words Dharmakṣetra and Kurukṣetra, apart from their historical and Vedic importance. Hare Krishna. Text 2. Sanjaya Vacha Drisvastu Pandavanikam Yuham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Rajavachanam Apravi. Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army gathered by the sons of Pāṇḍu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and began to speak the following words. Prabhupada's purport. Dhṛtarāṣṭra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure they would never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious from birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. He wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king. Thus he warned him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjaya therefore informed the king that his son Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief Dronacharya to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas. There's no way Duryodhana can win. And there's a saying that one should never enter a battle that can't win. But Duryodhana's determined, but he can't win. In a sacred place, Krishna's there, Krishna's devotees are there, and Duryodhana is attacking. He can't win. Hare Krishna.